Hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk about the magic potato. Well, I'll get to that in a moment. Actually, I wanted to talk about the teaching that we humans, we of mankind, are a reflection of God. That's what we've been told. We've been made in that image. Or would it be more correct to say that God is a reflection of our image at the current stage of our evolution? It's true. When we think about how can we understand something that we don't understand, something that is all-knowing on different levels of dimensions, something that is macrocosm, microcosm, for us to say that we know what's going on is extremely arrogant. It is. And the magic potato, where does that come in? Well, many of us are taught a religion when we're born, and it's interesting to see that this is still taking place. That our parents told us about, the magic potato, because their parents told them about the magic potato, and their parents told them about the magic potato. And then my parents tell me about the magic potato. But I ask, what does it taste like? And they say, well, it just tastes like, it's creamy, it's delicious, it's fantastic, it will save your life, and you must love it. You must love that potato. All that matters is that you love the potato. Everything else that you do, as long as you show up twice a week to say how much you love the potato, is all you need to do, and you will be saved for all eternity. What about those people over there that are eating sweet potatoes? Well, they're all going straight to hell, to burn forever in eternal damnation because they did not eat our potato. That is basically what we're seeing and what we're saying is God a reflection? See, I'm even gesturing out because we're saying, oh, God, it's not outside yourself. It's within us. We've been told that by the masters, by all who have come before. So stop, please, if you can, and look. Where is this? The kingdom of heaven is within you, and it is. And how can you possibly know what a potato tastes like unless you taste it yourself? You must taste the potato. I need more salt. It's your potato. Taste it, know it. You cannot go by what somebody said. It's actually like the game of telephone that goes one after the other after the other. Do it with just like two people. Even my husband and I were separated because I had the flu and he had to run up and give me a message. That was a one-person thing, and it was still left up to interpretation. And so this has been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. How can you know something that you have not experienced? We've all been told about magic potatoes, and we're all basically looking at, let's change them from vegetables, if we will, to the sun. Let's change it to the sun. I can see the sun here in United Kingdom, Greenwich Mean Time, and I'm looking at it out the window. I can see it lighting up right now. But other people cannot see the sun where they're at right now on this globe, on our round planet. Does that mean that the sun doesn't exist? What about the people that are on top of a mountaintop without anything blocking their vision? They see a blazing hot sun, a beautiful sun, and a big blue sky. That's the view that they have. What about somebody who's underneath a bunch of trees and they're in the shade and they can't see the sun clearly, but they do see little flickers of it coming through. And to them, at that point, that is their current understanding. Jeffrey Farthing writes something that is, I'd like to share it with you. And I apologize for looking off screen. I'm still trying to work out how to do this. I tried the teleprompter. No, it's not going to happen. So I'm just going to read this to you. A hierarchical priesthood with its own ceremonial priestcraft is a common feature of most exoteric. Now that's exoteric. I always want to say esoteric, which is outside what you know. Exoteric is what you do know. Of most exoteric religions, the priests claim to have been appointed by God and anointed into his service. This distinguishes them from ordinary men, the lowly potato eaters. I'm sorry, he didn't say that. I said that. I'm just going to stick with his quote. From ordinary men to whom they then claim to have a duty of right to minister. This ministration is virtually mediation between God and man, and this results in the idea of separation of some God that is out there, not in here, but out there, or there, or there, or there, away from you. In the past, this is Jeffrey again, Jeffrey Farthing, Farthing. In the past, a series of reformers, of which Buddha and Christ were both, all right, and many others, they have came down to restore something of the eternal verities to religion. one of which was the fundamental idea of the essential divinity of every man. The kingdom of heaven is within you. All right? You've been told that. They also sought to liberate men from institutional living. They taught compliance with truly spiritual laws to guide them into a kindly, just, and disciplined way of life. Okay, so I did add in a few things in Jeffrey's quote. I will include the proper quote in its entirety and without my additions down below. It's absolutely something, if we take a look at this, we can find so much peace. We've been talking about this. I do kind of cover the same things in these videos, especially about the divine spark within all of us, because I don't think it can be possibly said enough. I just had a conversation the other day online about somebody telling me that Jesus was a part of the foundation of the American judicial system. And that was followed up by photos, or not photo, well, they were photos of paintings of Christ as a white man. He was a white male. How do you know that? Well, I have this photo of a picture that was painted of Jesus 500 years ago. And they knew. No, they didn't. They didn't. They were writing about and envisioning what is around them. So when they took the, what the hell is this, paintbrush, and applied it to paper, they would paint what they would see as a normal 33-year-old man. You're looking at a medieval man. Christ, Jesus, was a Middle Eastern man. And that's going to bother a lot of you. I live in England. I can't say bum you out. It doesn't quite translate the same over here. So, yes, he was Middle Eastern. And what you see in these images, for example, the Da Vinci that just sold for, what, $450 million, is this beautiful man. But he's white because that is what was around these artists when they were painting. So what is the point of today? Is God created in our image? Are we created in God's? Or is there a little bit of both? How do I even have the right to say anything about this? Well, because I study these teachings of Theosophy. I am not a teacher. I'm a student, so I'm sharing my experience with you. And when these comments came through, I thought maybe I would share that, because what I believe is being expressed here is that our God that we have at this particular time is a reflection of our own state of evolution. And that's all it really can be. Some may have a God that's mad and angry and gets pissed off and butthurt. If you have a God that has these human characteristics of being angry, being jealous, that's a human characteristic. This was presented by those who were these priests who presented these teachings to the masses so they could have, a lot of people, most people didn't read. They didn't read. So they were told what spirituality and what their religion was. And then these religions have now started to fight and have been fighting since we can remember. Underneath these religions is the foundation of where they came from. And there is no division. There is only unity here. And in the key to Theosophy, the question is asked. Theosophy, you say, is not a religion. The answer is, most assuredly, it is not. Since it is the essence of all religion and absolute truth. Another question is asked, again from the key to Theosophy. All of great religions are derived from Theosophy, and that is by assimilating, which means absorbing or understanding or embracing it, Theosophy, is that the world will finally be saved from the curse of its great illusions and errors? The answer to that is yes. Yes. And yes! Dear God, yes! Absolutely. What does it take to become a Theosophist? I'd like to thank Nicholas for sending in this quote and reminding me of this. HPB wrote this down. Theosophy is not a worship of Blavatsky or any particular writer. She did write down some of the most important writings. She was a scribe, right? She was a scribe. So whatever her personal things were, doesn't have anything to do with the teachings that came through, and the secret doctrine isn't even complete in its entirety. But we haven't even begun to assimilate it. Anyway, anybody can become a Theosophist. It's easy, she says. Any person of average intellectual capacities and a leaning towards the metaphysical, of pure, unselfish life, who finds more joy in helping his neighbor than in receiving help himself. One who is ever ready to sacrifice his own pleasures for the sake of other people. One who loves truth, goodness, and wisdom for their own sake, not for any benefit they may confer, is a Theosophist. So, there you go. In the teachings of Theosophy, we can see where the religions were born from. I believe it is time for us to return back to those foundations. These texts are available. They are free. You don't have to pay for them. You certainly don't need to climb any ladder. And it is not going to come from a priest. It's going to come from you because it's closer than your own breath. I love you very much. Thank you for listening to me today.